Hello students, today we are going to start our same chapter of business studies, that is forms of business organization. This is part 4th of that chapter and this video is for class 11th. So students, our today's topic is company. First of all, we will have to know what is the meaning of company. Company is an artificial person having separate legal existence, perpetual succession and common seal. So here the important term is artificial person, separate legal existence, perpetual succession and company seal. So we can use all the terms one by one and knowing the meaning of that terms. So here some features of joint stock company is given. What is the main feature of joint stock company? The first one is separate legal existence. It means that company has separate legal entity and a company carry all the business in its own name. It means that they can use their own name, not the name of the owner. If company buy and sell assets, so that time company use their own name. With outsider, company can use their own name. For example, if Ram started ABC Limited, so Ram is the owner and the company's name is ABC Limited. So at the time of purchase and sale of any share, the company uses ABC Limited, not Ram's name. So that time company uses their own name, not the owner's name. That is the meaning of separate legal existence. It means that company has a separate entity. It does not need any person's identity to clarify themselves. Second one is artificial person. Company is an artificial person. It is not natural person because a company does not have physical body like a natural human being. It is an artificial person because company is created by law. It its operations are performed by the members. That's why we will call them company is an artificial person. If life is exist in the company, that time company is a natural person, but that is not possible. That's why we call them company is an artificial person. The third feature is registration. The registration of the company is compulsory according to Companies Act 2013. Perpetual succession. It means that the death, insolvency or incapacity of any member does not affect to the company. One line always says that members may come and members may go, but the company goes on forever. It means that there is no effect on the death and insolvency of a member to the company. For example, MDH Limited, MDH Masala is a company. After the death of the owner of MDH Limited, the company will continue in future. The company will not end it on the future. Company will continue their work in the future. Only owner can change, not company change. So company means perpetual succession. Common seal. Company is an artificial person, so company cannot sign on the paper. So there is need of common seal with its name engraved on it. And all the activities that companies are carried through a group of people. Anyone acting on behalf of the company can use common seal. It means that if any person operating the work of the company, that time the person use common seal. In simple language we call them stamp. The name of the stamp in business term, that is common seal. So we always saw that many companies or all the companies uses stamp that is one type of wood, and the name engraved on that wood, that is called common seal. So in the place of signature, company uses common seal. Transferability of share. The capital of the company divided into shares, and any person or any member transfer their share whatever they want. It means that they can easily sell their share or they can easily purchase the share. It means that transferability of share is possible. Separation of ownership and control. In company, the owner is different person, but the management is different. For example, Indra Nui is the owner of the PepsiCo company, but the whole work is not managed by the owner. The work is managed by the board of directors, who is elected by the owner. Limited liability. The liability of the member of a company is limited. It means that when company need amount to pay the debt, that time the personal property of the member cannot be sold because they have limited liability. Here some merits and advantage of company is given. First one is limited liability. It means that the company has limited liability. Second one is transfer of interest. The company can easily transfer their shares to any person, whatever they want. It means that if any shareholder need money, that time they can sell their share and convert their share in the form of cash. And whatever they want, they can purchase any other share. Perpetual existence. The company form of business enjoys perpetual succession. It means that the death, insolvency and incapacity of any member does not affect to the company. Company continues their function forever and ever. Growth and expansion. In a company, there are lots of members or shareholder, so they can contribute money in the business in the form of shares, and company has larger resources because they have larger finance. Efficient management. Company has huge resources, so they can hire professional experts for performing the managerial activities. If they are expert, so they can perfect in management. So there is efficient management is available in the company. Large amount of capital. In company there are large number of peoples, so their amount is also large. Here some demerit and disadvantage of a company is also given. First one is complexity in the formation. The formation of the company is very difficult because many legal formalities have to be completed at the time of registration. Many documents have to be prepared and submitted to the registrar. Various permission are required. So that is complex formation. Second one, lack of secrecy. Company fill many details to the registrar, and any person go to the registrar and ask the detail. So it means that lack of secrecy. Third one is impersonal work environment. Company is not managed by the owner. Company is managed by the professional expert and they get salary for this work. They don't have direct effort. If I am working for my own self, that time I am working very much efficient way. But if I am working for the salary, that time there is lack of motivation. I only work time to time because I get salary for that time. But if I have on work, that time there is no matter for the time. I always work whatever I need. So it means that impersonal work environment. Numerous regulations. There are many regulations for the company. If any time company fails to meet the legal formalities, that time they have to pay some penalty and they have to file return and annual reports with the registrar. So it means that this legal interference in day-to-day operation result in lack of secrecy, delay in decisions. Any one member cannot take all the decisions. So if company wants to take decision, so that time company discuss the matters in board meetings, and after the consultation of all the members, the decision can be taken. So it needs lots of time and it is a lengthy process. This means delay in decisions. One single decision takes lots of time. Oligarchic management. We know that company is set up as a democratic way. It means that all the person can take the decision, all the person provide their innovative ideas to the company. But in fact, in the reality, this is not true. This content is only true on the paper. The actual power lies in the few hands, not all the hands. Only few people take decision, not all the people take decision. So that is ultimate truth. Only democratic setup is exist on the paper, not in the real. Conflict in interest. Many persons are engaged in the company. They came from different backgrounds. They have different opinions. They have different social backgrounds. Due to this, always conflict in their interest. So the conclusion is that on comparing the merits and demerits of the company, we can conclude that company is suitable for heavy and basic industries. It means large scale operations, business which require huge fund and involves heavy risk. So in short that company is beneficial for large scale organization. It is not beneficial for small scale or medium scale business. Types of companies. On the basis of ownership, there are three types of companies. The first one is private limited, the second one is public limited, and the third one is one person company. Now, first one, private limited company. According to Companies Act 2013, private limited company is a company that can not be transferred their shares. Second one, for private limited company, minimum 2 persons and maximum 200 persons are required, excluding the present and past employees. Prohibits any invitation to the public. It means that they cannot issue their shares. So private limited company is a company that cannot transfer their shares. They have minimum 2 members or maximum 200 members, and they cannot transfer their shares to the general public. Or public limited company. Public limited company is a company that minimum 7 members and maximum members is no limit. You can hire any number of members. There is no maximum limit. Has no restriction on the transfer of securities. It means that public limited company can easily transfer their share, or they can issue shares to the public also. Public limited company is not open for the profit motive. This is opening for service motive. However, private company which is subsidiary of public company is also treated as public company. It means that if any private company that is the subsidiary of public company, so that is also treated of public company, not private company. Company limited by guarantee means a company having the liability of its members limited by the memorandum, such amount as the members may respectively undertake to contribute to the assets of the company in the events of its being wound up. It means that they had guaranteed company. They provide guarantee to their members. Company limited by shares means a company having the liability of its members is limited by the memorandum to the amount. So what is the term memorandum? We will discuss later on. If any unpaid on shares respectively held by them, it means that if any person requests money or provide debts to the company, that time they provide guarantee by the shares. The last one is one person company. The one person company short name is OPC. According to section 2013 Act, one person company is a company that may be in the form of public company or maybe in the form of private limited. That is new entity. And a company is performing their activities with only one person. For one person company, there are some requirements. The first one is no person shall be eligible to incorporate more than one person company or become nominee in more than one such company. It means that one person become member of one person company, that time he cannot be the member of any other company. Second one is one person company compulsory convert itself into public or private. It's up to the one person company. It may be in the private form or it may be in the public form, where the paid up share capital of one person company exceeds 50 lakh. It means that for opening one person company, minimum 50 lakhs are necessary. And annual turnover is exceed 2 crores rupees. So that is the one of the condition of one person company. Here are some privileges of one private company or public company. The first one is private company has minimum 2 members, whereas public company has minimum 7 members. Second one, a private company has minimum 2 board of directors, but public company has minimum 3 board of directors. Next, it is compulsory for a private company to maintain index, but for a public company, maintenance of index is not compulsory. Next one, a private company can issue loan to the directors without prior permission to the government. But if public company wants to take loan, that time they need permission from the government. Next one, it is not compulsory for a private company to hold a meeting, but it is compulsory for public company to hold a meeting. There is no restriction on the members' appointment and remuneration of the director of the private company. It means that private company anytime appoint any member. They can provide more wages, more salary. There is no need of permission for the government. But if public company wants to appoint any new director or new member, and when they wants to increase the remuneration of the employees, that time they need prior approval from the government. Next one, it is not necessary for a private company to issue prospectus, but for public company, issue of prospectus is compulsory. Private company can commence its business after getting certificate of registration, but public company can start only after receiving the certificate of commencement. What is the meaning of certificate of registration and certificate of commencement? We will discuss on next video. Here, difference between private company and public company is given that first, on the basis of number of members. In private company, minimum 2 members are required and maximum 200 members are required. But in public company, minimum 7 members are required and maximum number of member has no limit. Number of directors. In private company, minimum 2 directors are required. In public company, minimum 3 directors are required. Next one is invitation to the public. Private company cannot be invited to the public for shares and debentures, but public company can invite to the general public for shares and debentures. Prospectus. Private company need not issue prospectus, but public company is compulsory to issue prospectus. Transfer of share. Public company easily transfer their shares, but private company cannot transfer their share. Statutory meeting and report. No compulsion of holding meeting for private company, but it is compulsory to hold a meeting in 6 months. Index of members. No compulsion to maintain index of members for the private company, but it is compulsory to maintain the index of members for the public company. Legal formalities. Private company is exempted for legal formalities. It means that there is no need of legal formality for opening a private company, but in public company it is compulsory to fulfill the legal formalities. Now, with the help of tomorrow's video, we will discuss the next topic of that chapter.